to make sure the plane is all prepared.
So people that don't know what ATIS is, it's a recording program. Records all the information that Claudia said, and it also gives you there's a letter like Alpha, Delta, Bravo, and when it does that, when we talk to the controller, we say we have information Alpha, for example. That means they know what information do we have because it changes every so often, right? We're not really sure. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's every hour or every. Oh, okay, so when things change, they will change a letter.
If the weather's changing, they have a new information, new update.
New
they
letter.
change the letter. It could be changing every 15, 20 minutes if the weather is active,
Depends, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if the weather is all the same, it probably it will take a little longer for them to change.
Exactly.
At least an
Perfect.
hour.
All right. I just wanted to mention that. That's
all right. Cool. All right. So we're gonna go for the pre-flight checklist, okay? And look into here. We did the inspection outside already. Complete. Oxygen. I'm gonna check my oxygen, and you're gonna check yours right over there. Good. FMC loaded. We just talked about that, correct? Briefing, not complete yet. Briefing, usually the pilots do the briefing here, and I'm gonna do the briefing with you at the runway. Okay, part one, you're the PF, pilot flying.
Yeah.
Pilot two, I'm the PM, pilot doing nothing. I'm kidding, pilot monitoring, okay? So I'll be on the radio, and I'll be monitoring your flight, and I'll be supporting you, and you're gonna concentrate in fly. Altimeters, we have the altimeters at 2992, 2992, 2992, and that is the mercury barometer pressure at the atmosphere right now. That put us at 430 feet above sea level. And initially, we're gonna climb, we never noticed that, but I'm gonna go back here into legs. Initially, we're gonna climb to 5,600. So I'm gonna put it here, 5,600. When I change it here, now you have your target there, okay? Parking brake. At this moment, parking brake is off. We have the shock blocks holding the tires, okay? And of course, you can see the engines are off. All these are things we have to do as we get going to remove all the yellow messages, okay? Fuel control switch, both cut off. Transponder is off. And now let's see if this will work. It works now, look at that. So now I can show the doors. You can see how the doors open yet, correct? So we're gonna continue here, Captain. So see, these are all the legs. We're gonna fly all the way to flight level 370. You know what flight level 380 represents?
No.
38,000. You add 2 zeros.
Okay.
Okay? We just cut 2 zeros, that's all. All right, continue on, my captain. Our performance, we have a zero fuel weight of 181 tons of fuel, of the weight of the plane. Now, our ground weight is 201.9. Flight level 380, a cost index is 100. We have 7 tons of reserve, okay? And we are taking off on the full power on the engines, which is gonna give us almost full power, about 92% of power. This is our programs we do in the 777 before the flight. We don't need to give 100% power in the engines, okay? All right, so everything is good. We're still waiting for the passengers to come in and the cargo. Of course, we are a flight simulator. That's actually no passengers here. We had one special lady in the back seat right there, right? And I don't know if it shows Michelle, but she's right there in the back. So right now, once again, we would first wait for the passengers. They are closing the doors. That means we can put the seatbelt signs on and no smoking signs on. Go for it. 1, 2, right on, right now. Put it back on.
Okay.
Leave it on as well. Now let's put the beacon, nav, and logo lights on. Go for it. 1, 2, 3. Push it. There you go. Excellent. Now, as you can see very shortly, the doors will start to be closed. And you're going to see here a armed green go. See, they're starting to lock the doors. Once they are ready, I'm going to just say to the ground here, A ground, good evening. This is UFLY, not UFLY, are we using UFLY? Yes, UFLY 003.
Yep.
Mic test or sound test. So just he can hear us. He can hear us.
Coming in 5x5.
All right. See, now we're going to wait for him to say that he's listened to us. And then you're going to request pushback, okay?
Oh, that's the fellow downstairs in the
On
tug,
the ground.
the tug cart.
Go ahead.
So request pushback. Say it. Request pushback.
Request.
All right.
pushback.
Hey, yeah. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. Set the parking brake. Pull up. Tell him parking brake set. You use the trigger right there.
Okay. Parking brake set.
Perfect.
Okay, steering wheel inserted. Please release brakes.
Release the brakes. Forward down.
Brakes released.
Push it
Brake
back.
release. Okay. So let's put a few pumps on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm kidding. That's it. I'm kidding. Hydraulic pumps. Left engine on. Go for it.
Okay.
Left electric auto. Right engine on. Right electric auto. And C1, C2 valves auto. And one more thing, my captain. Lock the door behind us right here.
Here.
Good. Perfect. So now we have no control of the plane. We're waiting for them to push us back. I'm going to change both of our screens for the engines, okay?
All engines clear for startup.
And just start up, thank you. As we turn in this way, we're going to start with the outbound engine, which is right engine right here. So click to start and let it go. Perfect. Now we both look it over here to N2, which is on both screens. You'll see the N2 is rotating. We go back to N1, which is the outside fan. It's also rotating it. Then we go back to the oil pressure to get to 8. Come here, put your hand over here, lift, flick her up on the fuel flow valve. Good. Now, about 10 seconds, the fuel flow started to go inside the chamber.
Set parking brake.
Set the parking brake. Parking brake set.
Time system is removed. Please wait for my hand signal on the left hand side. Bye bye.
Ta-ta. Ciao. Arrivederci. Au revoir. I'm training my French. Okay, Captain. Right engine has started it. As you can see, the fuel flow is going inside the chamber. Now, the only thing we got to do is watch the exhaust gas temperature, not to go over the red line. Perfect, perfect. Right engine is going well. Let's go for the left engine right here as well. Click to start. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And you look it down here, N2, which I look at my side here. Good. Now look back here to N1, which is the outside fan, right there. From there, we go back to the oil pressure and to 8. Lift, flick her up. Perfect. Now you can see here that the engine, the fuel flow starts to go inside. Once again, engine is starting it. Everything is good. Left engine is going stable as well. I'm going to change your screen for the flight control. And my captain, we're going to check the flight controls, which is very important while you're still in the ground. Hands on the controls, nice and easy, turn all the way to the right. And as you can see, ailerons are working, center, all the way to the left. Perfect, center. Okay, push forward. Elevator is working, excellent, center. Pull back. Easy, easy, my captain. It's good. Now use the rudder, using the left foot, not the top, just the bottom.
Okay.
And left foot and right foot. Don't use the top, just the bottom.
Yeah, no.
The top of the pedals are the brakes.
Brake, yeah.
Okay? Perfect. All right. Now, you're going to change your view here. That's perfect. So, now we are clear to go. We're going to go that way because that's why we turned. And the runway we're going to take off. Actually, we're going to go
It's ahead on your left.
right here, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So now I'll be saying tower. Tower, this is UFLY 003 asking permission for taxi.
UFLY 003, you are cleared to taxi runway 14 via Hotel November.
Okay. Now, via hotel, and November is right there. Taxi via Hotel November, UFLY 003. Okay. Heavy. Gotta
There
say
we
that because we're a big guy. Not here. Is the plane, okay?
Yeah.
It's not me. It's the plane. So taxi lights on. Me too. Taxi lights on. Forward. Just the taxi lights.
Okay.
One at a time. Take your time. Okay. For the takeoff. Let's put it back here on the takeoff page. What flaps do we have? Flaps 5. And that's exactly what I put it in. And auto brakes to RTO. After start, engines anti-ice, auto, auto, auto. Go for it. Recall. We have 3 recalls. So number 1, we're going to reset this. Put it down, 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 and up again. And fuel low in center. Uh-oh, we already have fuel low in center. It's a short flight. The guys didn't put much fuel in the center tank. We have enough on the wing. So center pumps off. 1, 2. And last of all, TCAS. What TCAS stands for?
I don't know.
Traffic Collision Avoidance System. Right here. That's the radar. Turn it on. Right there. Good. Auto brakes to RTO. Reject takeoff. And flight deck door is locked.
TCAS
After
test.
start checklist is complete. Next one is before takeoff. Okay? All right. Before we move, Captain. Clear on the right. Look outside. Talk to me.
Clear.
Huh?
Clear here.
We're here.
Right.
No, I'm right.
Oh, left.
Okay, so again. Speak up, Captain. Clear on the right.
Clear on the left.
Okay, okay. That's communication. Very important between pilots, okay?
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Okay.
Talk, speak,
Yeah.
okay? People are looking at us on the camera. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. But we're not looking at them. We're busy here, okay?
Just a company request for UFLY 777. When you get to the runway there, you're going to have to backtrack to the end. So you got to use the runway to actually taxi to the end and make a U-turn.
All right. So we're going to taxi the plane right here, and you're going to use the tiller. Tillers for the big planes, okay? So now remember, turn, quarter turn, hold that position, and wait until the plane turns.
Okay.
All right, so release the parking brake. I'm going to apply a little bit power and left hand on the tiller, and you can crank it to the left. Just using the tip of your fingers. Don't need to do much strength on it. Perfect. Look at outside, Captain.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask that you direct your attention to the forward part of each cabin to the TV monitors for a brief and important message about the safety features and procedures to this aircraft. Please ensure your seatbelts are securely fastened. Your seats are in the upright position and the tray table in front of you secured ready for takeoff.
Oh, okay. Now I hear you. Right in the middle of the runway.
Yeah, you got to backtrack and make a U-turn.
Okay. You capisci? Capisco? Parla italiano? Parla italiano, ma che è? Che pasa? Oh, no, that's Spanish. I mix all the languages all together, okay? So we're going to make a right turn here, and that's a runway. So backtrack, that means you're going to go all the way to the end and do a U-turn. Did you know that planes can also do a U-turn? Now
Yeah.
you do. Okay, we're going to stop it here as the tower hasn't cleaned us yet. So straight, straight, stop the plane, brakes, tip your toes. UFLY 003, request for taxi on the runway.
UFLY 003, you are clear. Traffic is no factor. You're clear to taxi using 14 to the end and then line up on 14 and wait.
Okay, 14 is that way. So once again, clear on the right.
Clear on the left.
Okay, taxi on 14, traffic's no issue. UFLY 003. Okay, release the the brakes.
UFLY 003, confirm lineup and wait 14.
Line up and wait 14003 UFLY. Heavy. UFLY 003 heavy. In this order, much better. Okay, we're gonna make a left turn, but not yet, okay? Go straight. Remember, this is a big plane. Don't turn yet. Go here, wait, and now start to turn left. There you go. Perfect. Hold it right there. That's where you want to go. Hold it, hold it, hold it. See the center line? You want to see the center line right here. And straight. Okay, so we're going to give some power. Yeah, we know, we know. So where should I be turning? Here or going all the way to the end?
You use the on the left, the space on the left.
Yes, okay. That's a space right there. Wait. Wait. See, that's the end of the runway. That's the turning point. We're going to go here, turn left. Right there. Go right here. Straight. Good. Now turn all the way to the right. All the way. All the way. Here we go. All the way. Nice. Hold it right there. See, runway 14. Hold it right there. Excellent, my captain. Very good. Keep coming. Center line. You want to have the center line right here.
UFLY 003, you are clear for takeoff runway 14. Winds are calm.
Runways 14, clear to take off. You fly 003, heavy. All right, we are good to go. Strobe lights on, which we forgot to put on before. Taxi lights off. Runway lights on. Landing lights on. 1, 2, 3. One at a time. And your imaginary lights on. I'm kidding, that's not the switch. Just kidding, Captain. All right, we are now good to go. We have everything done before takeoff. Flaps 5 in green. Transponder is on. TARA. The flight controls is checked. One last thing to do. And because I promised you to do the briefing, let's do the briefing, right? There's no traffic. This is your primary flight display, okay? The sky, the ground, your artificial horizon line. Airspeed, ground speed. Barometer pressure, we already talked about this. We're going to climb to 5,600, and that's a route that we're going to be doing, okay? Now, to fly the plane, when you pull back on the controls, go back here, pitch up, push forward, down, turn right, other right, right bank, turn left, left bank. Now, we're going to remember, on the ground, you're going to use only the rudder, which is your feet, left and right to do the yaw turn, okay? For the engines, Captain, that's the briefing. You stop me if you don't understand, okay? Once we finish this presentation, I'm going to say you have control. You're going to confirm with me I have control. Then you're going to have your hand on the throttles, but not yet, unless you want to hold my hand, okay? You're going to go halfway on the throttles. You're going to go about 40%, and you can see the engines pulling it up. Then you're going to click TOGA. Do you know what TOGA stands for?
No.
TOGA right there, on, off. TOGA stands for take off, go around. That's exactly the power we need to go. We set up that in computer. So halfway, wait, click. Throttles will move to TOGA, and you're going to let it take your hands on it. You're going to keep your hand on the throttles until we hear view 1. Do you know what view 1 stands for? Decision speed, point of no return. Okay? What's a view 1 speed in our flight today?
126.
126. Anything happens to us or to the plane before V1, disconnect the auto throttle, bring to idle, use the reverse thrust. We'll stop the plane completely. I'll then contact the tower. Once I contact the tower, we'll assess the situation. What's the problem? Can we move the plane outside the runway or not? If we cannot, we have to go through the emergency evacuation checklist. Once that is done, we send a message to the flight attendant and they will know what to do. Okay?
Okay.
Now, they are trained to remove 300 people plus outside the plane in 90 seconds. And they better, because we can only go after them. I mean, you're the captain, you're the last one. I go first, okay?
Okay.
I'm sorry, but that's the protocol. They are trained, and the flight attendants train that in simulators on the airlines as well all the time, okay? Perfect. Nothing happens to view one. That means from that moment on, we are committed to fly. Your right hand goes into the yoke, and you're going to wait for your second speed, which is the VR speed, which is 134. And that's when you're going to bring the nose up.
Okay.
Okay? Now, you're going to bring the nose to a 15 degrees, which is 2 lines above the 10. And as you can start to climb, you're going to see number 20. So between 10 and 20 is,
15.
you got it. Simple as that.
We have a comment from Pavlo Ternavetsky, so I'm guessing that's your mom. So she says you're doing great.
Hi, Mom. How are you, Mom? Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Say hi, Mom.
Hi.
Oh, he's so excited. All right. Don't be nervous. You'll be doing okay. I'm going to turn a little bit of the lights off.
Yeah, the ones above your heads as well.
The ones above my head. Okay. Excellent. All right, Captain. We are now clear to take off. The tower already cleared us, so we're not going to talk to them anymore. We're clear to take off. You have control.
Okay, control.
Okay, release the parking brake, forward down. Right hand over here. Give some power on the engines. Good. Keep your hand over here. Don't be shy.
Okay.
Now, engines are stable. Click toggle.
Wait,
One push. Okay, keep your hand over here. Now, use a little bit your right foot. And you can see thrust wrap, speed of light. Left foot, left foot. Nice. Left foot. 80 knots check. Thrust check. Same information. Right hand on the yoke. Rotate, Captain. Pull back. Here we go. To the sky. Nice. Call gear up. Say it. Call it. Gear up. Gear up. Gear up.
UFLY 003, radar contact. You're clear to climb flight level 10,000 and maintain 250.
Okay. Maintain 250.
Speed.
Speed 250. 10,000 and runway heading. So increase our speed. You fly 777 heavy.
Out, UFLY 003.
Yeah, it's true. You fly 003, but heavy. See, on the session here with the client, we use so many times you fly 777. 15 degrees, Captain, right there. You're doing good. 15. Excellent.
UFLY 003, you are cleared for LNAV navigation and for your planned cruise altitude.
Okay, our planned cruise altitude. Planned cruise altitude 380. LNAV, you fly 003 heavy. Call flaps 1. Say flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Doing good, Captain. You're doing good. Start to make a right turn, Captain. There you go. Bang to the right. That's the Atlantic Ocean. Call flaps up. Excellent, Captain. This is very good. 6,400. We go into 10,000. We actually been cleared to go 38,000. A little bit less. Perfect. Just turn a little bit left right there. So you see the flight director I want to try to put the plane's nose right inside the flight director. Okay, we are now approaching 10,000 feet. Landing lights off, runway lights off.
UFLY 003, approved frequency change to Toronto Center.
Okay, Toronto Center, UFLY 003 heavy. All right, right there. See where we're going? Perfect. This is excellent, Captain. We're doing good. Now we are above 10,000 feet. You can see we are already going over 250. Take your time. You're doing good. Oh, look at the clouds. Guys, Halifax is a new destination that we just had this week. We had some updates on the simulator this week. As you guys can see the outside, look at the clouds. They are fantastic. Fantastic. And you know what? I'm just going to lower the volume without breaking anything or interrupting anything because the volume is too high and I've been talking too loud. Now, here we go, Captain. You're doing good. 15,000. We're going to 38,000. At this time, Toronto Center. This is UFLY 003 Heavy. Requesting radio contact. Oh, look at the cloud.
Just for learning purposes, for people that are watching, they're not following SOP on radio. So when you are swapping frequencies, the only thing you need to say is, for example, if I was the pilot flying, I would say UFLY 003 to Toronto Center. We're climbing for 38,000, currently at 18,000. So you don't say requesting radar contact because, of course, they would have you on the radar. And let's go ahead and swap the standard.
Standard right here. Press it here. Good. So we're over 18,000. So we go standard.
So in a real flight, you start off with clearance, then clearance sends you to ground, which lets you taxi to the runway. And at the runway, you're going to be switching over to departures. And once you take off from tower to departure, then departure hands you off the center when you are at a certain point away from the airport or at a certain altitude. Center then hands you off as you go from region to region. So let's say that we're in the Halifax region center, then they were going to hand you off to Toronto Center. And if we're flying to Chicago, then they hand you to Chicago Center. So in our case, we're flying to Montreal. So the Montreal Toronto Center is going to handle the plane and then slowly bring it back down in terms of the level of communication. So when you get close enough, they're going to hand you back to arrivals, then arrivals for tower, then tower to your ground, and then and so forth. So they hand you off as you go from sector to sector.
Perfect. This is very good. Excellent. Let's slow down a little bit. My captain here is doing a fantastic job. 24,000, 24, going to 38. So as you can see here, Captain, we are flying to Kelno, 18 nautical miles. Now go over here, turn this knob to the right. There you go, right there. Perfect. Excellent. Now, anytime you want to put the autopilot, you can just press this button here, okay? Feel comfortable anytime you want, or keep flying the plane. So let's go for after takeoff checklist, okay? So gear is up, auto brakes off position, flaps are up, landing lights off, and let's turn the APU. APU is off. Anti-ice as required. We have an auto. After takeoff checklist is complete, Captain.
All right. Wonderful. If we want to show some of those sectors there, Gabriel, on the iPad, I'll pull that up. You guys can see where the plane is now. We're currently we're going towards St. John. So that will be towards Fredericton in New Brunswick. And I believe this flight is about an hour 30 long. And then once we get closer to Montreal, we'll then swap frequencies again. Now, something for you guys to watch out for. Usually during these type of flights, we're not doing full ATC, but something that we're planning to start doing on the weekdays before we are flying with students is full ATC flights on the same platform, on all the platforms. And once again, we'll give a shout out here. Michelle's here sitting with us from Youth Taking Flight, and their website's youthtakingflight.com. And if you guys want to go and check out their Instagram, it's YTF Programs. And it allows students like Pablo to come and have an experience here with us. And of course, it's something for aviation enthusiasts or aspiring pilots and people maybe who can't even become a pilot but want to be integrated within the aviation world that are enthusiasts, right? There's factors, maybe color blindness or even money. It costs a lot of money to do your pilot training. So if that's something you can't do, then of course we're providing something that's open to the public and very manageable to be able to come and have an experience here. So we're trying to motivate them and give them an experience where they can see how it is on an airliner. And this is a beautiful aircraft. It's the Boeing 777-200LR. And it's one of the Queen of the Skies. Of course, there's still the 747 and the A380, but it's a huge wide-body, long-range aircraft that is used widely around the world. So, students like this, it's super motivating to see here. And Pablo's doing an amazing job. He's still hand-flying the plane, and we're at 33,000. So, a lot of rookies that come in here, try and go to autopilot quickly because it is quite a little bit of a harder job to follow that flight director. And I think Pablo said he wants to be a fighter jet pilot. So this is a very, very good skill to have where he's very close to the flight director. And this is a skill that's important, especially when, for example, if you're in weather and you actually cannot see what's in front of you. If you're in a cloud or if there's fog or thunderstorms and you are using the instrument system, you actually don't have a visual reference outside. So this procedure here where he's flying the flight director according to the inputs into the MCP is a very good skill to have, and you have to be accurate with it.
Look at that. Very good.
You can see we're above the cloud ceiling now. We're coming up to 38,000. We're at 35,000 now. Yes, so in a real flight, usually anywhere between 10 to 18,000 after transition is usually around where the pilots will go into autopilot anyway. And that's, of course, why you have a pilot flying and a pilot monitoring. So one's flying the plane, the other one's doing radios, navigation, and anything else the pilot flying needs help with. So I think we'll go into autopilot once we get to 38,000. We'll see if we can... if you guys have any questions from TikTok, from YouTube, from Facebook, from Twitch, please feel free. We'll try and answer some questions here while we're at cruise altitude. And if Pablo has anything to ask as well to Claudio, there's a lot of things on the plane that you can definitely learn about or ask questions about. So try and absorb as much as possible. 1,000 to go. And that is the airplane giving us that little beep. It's an alert that you're 1,000 away from your selected altitude.
Every time we select an altitude, 1,000 feet before, which is just a little bit over 800 feet actually. But we say one to go.
We're going to give some shout outs to people on TikTok here. We have Ivy Powell, we have Adrix, we have David Adeo, Stylist Zora, Victoria. Victoria says, where are you going? We're currently flying to Montreal. We took off from Halifax. Wish you guys were in Chicago. It looks awesome. Yeah, our simulator is located in Mississauga, Ontario, and you guys can check it out at UFLYSimulator.com, or you can give us a call.
Watch your hands over your shoulder. There you go. Relax. Relax.
What is the rough cost of this course? So this is not a course. This is actually a program that is partnered with Youth Taking Flight, where they bring students on a bi-weekly basis, and we just give them the experience. However, it is open to the general public for you guys to come and have an experience, and there's no prior experience required or resume or anything like that. Anybody in the public can come and fly your simulator. And that's why we're actually keeping it a fixed based simulator so we can keep this
Turn this
service
on here,
open to
right?
the public. Otherwise, it would cost a huge
more.
amount of money to be able to rent this out from an airline.
That's where we're going, right? Okay. So
Somebody
we just
says,
zoom out.
Claudio, your headphones are low on your ear. That's right. Your right side is it's falling below your ear. So
Is it?
pull it up. Yeah.
Oh, I can hear fine, but that's okay. Thank you.
There you go. Hello, Lau.
Hello.
Let's see. Autopilot all the way, go ILS approach. Yes, the autopilot can do the ILS approach by itself, but it is up to the pilot's discretion and depending on the weather and visibility when they want to take over. Is this real or a simulator? It is real and a simulator. It's both. We are real people. This is a real cockpit. It's actually a decommissioned old cockpit built by Flight Deck Solutions, and it is a exact replica of the Boeing 777. Is this a game? It's not a game.
Not a
It's
game.
a real simulator. We do have pilots that come here for reoccurrence and some training, and also people that do fear of flight programs. But we are a simulator, so this is not a real flight. We don't have passengers in the back other than Michelle and Gabriel and me right now.
This is a simulator, guys. As Ryan was saying, it's a fixed base simulator. I'm turning the light on here.
Which simulator are you guys running? We're running
And we-
P3D.
We are a flight simulator open to the public, so anybody can actually come here and use our simulator.
Where are you guys flying from into? I think I mentioned it earlier. We took off from Halifax and we're going towards Montreal. How is internet working? Because we have really great connection, really awesome connection, high-speed internet for us, right into the airplane. Now you guys would be surprised. A lot of airlines actually do have Wi-Fi in the plane. They do have Wi-Fi which you can connect, and that's how some of them are able to stream movies and
That's where we're
TV
going,
shows on the
okay?
airplane. And the reason we're not using Microsoft 2020 as a flight simulator platform is because it's not currently compatible with the Flight Deck Solutions cockpit. So hopefully for 2024, for Microsoft 2024 Flight Sim, we'll be able to integrate our cockpit with them, and the visuals will be, I mean, immensely upgraded. But we've been working behind the scenes to really give you guys a better experience. I've been here almost every day of last week doing scenery for you guys and adding in airports, and we're fine-tuning the audio, so hopefully the experience gets better and better every time we do a stream. And we will be doing live air traffic streams, hopefully starting sometime next week, and or maybe the week after, and during the weekdays. And I'm going to be working on that behind the scenes for you guys as well, just so we are going to increase our frequency of streams other than only on Friday evening. Hey, Brucey, thank you for your comment. We're doing great. Hopefully you're doing
Thank
great
you.
as well. What is the aim of showing us? It's just an experience for you guys that may not be able to come to our facility or are interested in aviation, and it also shows you it's a great motivating factor for people that are aspiring pilots, such as Pablo here. He's here and learning and getting this experience. It's hard to get this experience everywhere. A lot of people are flying on their simulators online at home,
There
but
we are.
it's a completely different experience when you have the full cockpit up close.
So we just flew from Nova Scotia. Okay. We are now just crossed a little bit of the ocean, which is like a horseshoe inside here. See that?
Are we gonna see you guys land? Yes, you are. We're doing gate to gate.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna be landing in Montreal and then and parking at the gates.
And
Sarah says this is just amazing. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Now, my captain, I know we're gonna start to continue listening the comments, but I gotta tell you something. Okay. Earlier tonight, a very good friend of mine brought us some food.
You already said that story, Claudio.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Burritos. The meaning for that, captain, is I gotta go. When you gotta go, you gotta go.
All right, so we're bringing in the relief pilot.
The relief pilot is gonna come in. Gabriel is gonna make you company, and let's say that nature's calling. I'll be right back. Okay.
Careful of the camera on your right side.
I will. And oh yes, I put my hand in there. Sorry, guys.
Not
But-
that one. The phone.
Oh yeah. By the way, I like to say this phrase. Just I'm imitating somebody. I'll be back.
Kapua says I always want to do this when I grow up. Chase your dreams, Papua. Chase your dreams.
Okay, so dream. Okay, my very good friend Gabriel's coming over.
Are you guys affiliated with the Civil Aviation Directorate? We are not, but we are currently in the works, in the process of working on certification and working with airlines. So we are not affiliated with CAE. Nottam News says, hey, I'm from Rio de Janeiro. That's awesome. We have Gabriel and Claudio here that are both Portuguese, right? And Brazilian. Yep. Portuguese, Brazilian, and Claudio is from Brazil.
So how you doing? Good?
Do you have every airport in the world on the simulator? Yes, we do.
Just about 28,000 airports, I believe.
28,000.
That we know. So, any questions? Nothing at all?
Really? You don't want to know about anything on the overhead or any of the anything in the cockpit?
What we're doing here?
No questions?
Do you understand what's happening here? Okay. So let's see what I can show him.
Let's start with the. Why don't you talk to him about the navigation and maybe turn on weather and terrain on the
all right.
navigation?
So we have a little panel here, which is the radar panel for our screen monitors, and it's really neat. It has lots of stuff that we can put on. So we can put on weather, which is right now, but the weather is pretty clear, so we don't see anything. We have terrain, and can you see this one here?
Yep.
See, it's showing up a little terrain here. It is a flat area, as you know, Ontario. I'm going to take this off. So if there was like mountains and stuff like that, it would show, and it'll give us numbers of elevations. Okay, but the 777 has a really good radar for weather. Normally the normal radars have only one platform. This 777s have multiple platforms, so you can actually see what levels different weathers are. It's really advanced system they have here. All right, so the next one we will do is waypoints. Let's see if I can show you some waypoints here. So all those waypoints here, you see, is waypoints are they're not radio beacons. They are navigation points, like a GPS navigation point, right? Let's see if I can show you more. So I can show. Okay, that's a good picture here. So that's all waypoints. Okay. Now, not necessarily it's an airport. It's all waypoints. What if I want to see an airport? So I'll take off the waypoints and I'll put airport. So how many airports are around us? That's quite a bit of them, right? Not all of them are as good for this type of plane. Could be small airports. We'll have to look in the charts and see if we needed to go down here to one of these airports, if they're long enough runways. So just because there's an airport here, depends on the airplane size, you can't really land there. But it'll tell you there's different airports around. All right, data. Data is a good thing. Data, without data, it just gives you a little circle with a name. But I want to, let's say I was flying a Cessna, flying along, and I need to land somewhere. And my navigation system is not working very good to know where the runway direction is. So we go to data, and it gives us a little detail of what the runways look like. So I can actually fly this airplane, or the other one, but this one, I can actually fly it without no instruments, just visual. But just by looking at this particular view, I can fly it and get to line up with the runway just by looking at that. So there's always ways of getting this plane on the ground safely. Okay. And when somebody says, "Oh, I'm lost," you can't be lost. Right? There's ways of knowing. Okay, so that's the data. What else? The next one is status. That's for something else. Waypoints, weather, position. So position, I think it works with waypoints. Let's see if I can get this going here. Airports, waypoints. Yep. It doesn't show them until we're a little bit in more. See if I can
Someone
get it going.
asks, why is it not moving? So it is moving. It just looks
Oh, it's
like
moving.
we're moving slow because we're so high in the air. We're currently at 38,000 feet. And if you look closely, if you pay attention to the clouds, they're going to get swept underneath the dashboard there. But it does look like we're moving slow. It's just because we're so high up in the air, everything doesn't look like it's moving as fast visually.
Yeah, I'm pointing at the ground speed. Okay, because what happens here is airspeed is different than our ground speed. Airspeed is not really the true speed that we're going at. It's just the airflow going through the pitot tubes.
Yeah. Yes.
So we look at here at 475
Yeah.
knots. So how much is that in kilometers? Would you know in knots?
Here we have
I
some.
got my Ryan, can you check there
Check what?
on I don't have my phone with me.
What am I checking?
Check the 475 knots. What is it in kilometers?
Okay, give me a sec.
Where is my phone? Oh, right here. Yeah, he'll check it quicker than me. And he'll give you an idea of how fast we're going.
So that is 879.
Kilometers. So we're moving pretty quick, right?
Yeah, so it's about the rule of thumb, like if you want to really just round, is times 2, but it's the real multiplication number would be 1.852. So whatever it says your airspeed is, your knots, you multiply that by 1.852.
So we're at 38,000 feet. So we're moving at 268
Yeah, so
knots.
where it says true airspeed, TAS, on the top left of your
Right
nav.
there, yeah.
So it says 475, so that's the number you would multiply by 1.852 to get it in kilometers per hour. So we're going at almost 900 kilometers per hour.
And the higher we go, the lower this number is, and the higher this number is if we go faster. Why is that? You know why? How come we go less knots
Shout out to
and more ground speed?
Sonu from Nepal. Welcome to
Less
the stream.
pressure, exactly. So that will be less pressure, but meanwhile we're getting going
We
quicker.
have a question saying, do we have nighttime
Okay.
flights? Yes, we can do a nighttime flight. But the reason we do daytime is just so you guys can see more.
So that's how it is. Now, on the radar itself again, we're gonna come here. We're gonna bring it out, and then we have this little TD, Tango and Delta. That tells us top of descent. So the FMC calculates all this and calculates when we have to descend from the altitude that we are at, and it tells us, well, at this point you should be descending to make it the airport at a certain level, at certain levels along the way. And then if you go closer, as a little, you can't really see it right now. There's a little green circle. So we're descending, and we're going to keep about the same speed. But when we get to the circle here, automatically reduces speed. Okay, and that's because we're getting close to 10,000 feet, so we're going to be below 250. Okay, there's a lot of stuff we got to learn, man.
So we had Paul Mayat saying, crazy, looking out the window, it doesn't even look like they're moving. Yeah, so I did
No.
explain that a little earlier. If you look, the only way you can really tell is if you put your eye
You
on
can
one of
see
the clouds.
You can see the top clouds moving.
Yeah, so if you put your eye on one of the clouds below and you keep focused on that one cloud, you'll see that cloud's going to slowly move in comparison to the cockpit.
Oh,
We
with
don't
the
need to do
pointer?
that. I can just go outside view.
Well, we can see. Can you see the view up there? I don't know if the viewers can see that.
Yeah.
Those are the clouds
They
you can
can.
tell it's coming because they're closer to us. So if we had these clouds closer to us, we would see them go quicker, right? And now we have no clouds up here. So the ones down there are so far down at the bottom that it doesn't look like they're moving at all. But we are moving. If we look on the side, moving pretty quick. All right, so I'll hand it over to Claudio. Claudio, you're okay now? Oh, he tricked me. See
Okay, I
that?
went to the outside view. Go ahead and switch.
But any more questions about that?
No.
Okay. So, and then when we get closer, you get the waypoints, and then we have the approach. We pick up the ILS, the instrument landing system, and then you'll take over after the airplane stabilizes. I don't know how, Claude, you guys work it out. It all depends what you want to do, and that gives you a little idea what's happening there. All right, then. Talk to you guys later.
Are they allowed to film while flying passengers? So, if this was a real plane, there are videos online where you can see real flights with passengers done with cameras. Those are done by fixed static cameras or a film crew that has special permission and security clearance to be inside the cockpit.
I'm back, Captain. How you doing?
But if your question is regarding if the pilots are allowed to film, no. The pilots themselves can't be holding a camera or be distracted from the operations of the real plane. Claudio lost 10 pounds after that. Jared,
pretty much.
Jared Willem says you lost 10 pounds. So yeah, all the beans are gone.
I can tell you this, guys. I feel much lighter.
He came back a new man.
A new man. But you know what? It's always still inside the plane somewhere.
So for those of you on TikTok are asking for different views, if you guys want to go check out our YouTube, Twitch, those are the best places to see our full production. Because on TikTok, unfortunately, we're streaming from one phone camera, and that camera is a static camera that sits in the corner on a tripod. But unfortunately, we can't really move that around during the stream because it's just difficult to do that while we're live and we're flying. So if you guys want to really get all the different views, we have the views with the charts. We have an outside view. We have an overhead view. We have the back cockpit camera. We even have a takeoff landing camera that gives you a full wide aspect view. So if you guys want to get all that production and the rest of the sound as well, feel free to go to our YouTube or our Twitch. Our Twitch is twitch.tv/UFLY Simulator, and on YouTube it's the same. It's UFLY Simulator. So please go ahead and do that. And if you guys are interested in the rest of the production.
And guys, from YouTube, you guys can help us. Try to follow us at UFLY Simulator USA. We need to get 10,000 followers, which we're way behind that. And once we have 10,000 followers, we can request permission to live stream on that channel. So UFLY Simulator USA. So we have some videos there as well. Please try to follow us there. Once we get 10,000, we're going to start live stream on TikTok, also with the full production, because we can transfer that into the computer. So I hope you guys understand. Thank you. Help. Help. I need somebody. Help. All right. So where are we right now? Don't stay in the seat. Because I know.
We are currently right over, we just passed over Fredericton, and now we're going towards Maine, and we're going to be flying over a little town called Millinocket.
Yeah, right there. Millinocket. Right there. So at this moment, look at this. We are flying in the USA.
Yes, and
territory.
Then we'll come back into Canada towards St. George.
It's funny how Canada and US is. Look at all this white border. That's the USA. So we're now flying into American soil or airspace, actually, until we got to Canada again. See that? And that's, I mean, all these green lines you see, it's what I've been doing today earlier with the client, okay? We did some flights here and there. If I just zoom out, look what I've been today with the client. Oh, look at that. Can you guys see the camera here?
See a little bit. There we go.
Yep. Look at this. This is what I've been with the clients today. All over. Dubai, St. Martin, Vancouver.
You did Moscow as well, right?
Moscow, yes. Moscow, which is a new airport.
We did Miami,
Sydney,
Vancouver.
Look at that. I've been everywhere. I've been in New York, Toronto, of course, many times over. Then we've been to London, Paris, Paris. Look at that. Then Dubai. Then Rome. This is cool, huh? Once we turn off the computer, the flight simulator, and we shut down the iPad, it's reset. So not tomorrow, start fresh. At the end of the day, we'll be that busy again. See, but now if I zoom in, again, that's us right there. It's a fresh flight, and that's us. That's the green line. So top of descent, as Gabriel was explaining to you, TD, that's when we're going to start our descent. And that will be right after we pass Oddball, which right now is 98.3 nautical miles. As Ryan was explaining, about 200 kilometers, a little bit less, give it a take. Actually, take, because it's less than 241, but just to give a rough idea.
Not
So-
200 kilometers. It's times 2. So it's actually 800.
No, the distance for the
Oh,
next
distance.
waypoint.
The distance.
Yeah, for the next waypoint.
Okay, yeah.
So we're 200 kilometers away. It's less than that. okay?
Somebody's asking any sign of the drinks trolley or the flight attendant?
Oh, this is a low-cost company. Water. Water, my friend. Just water.
Bring your own snack.
Yes. So turn this knob here to the left. To the right, sorry. Good. Perfect. Now, you see here, 38,000. Okay? So the next waypoint is after we pass Oddbus, which is still flight level 380. The next one is another 76 nautical miles. And that's when we start to descend to 15,539. Okay? So that's when we start to descend. So what we can do here is we can select 15,500. Okay? And we just leave it in air. And we use the flight level change. Uh-huh. So next waypoint is 85, which you can see in a different color, which is a magenta color. We're going to be here, there, ATA at 22.9 Zulu. Right now we are 21.8, almost there. At that time, we're going to have 14.3 tons of fuel. We're going to land in Montreal with 12.5 tons of fuel.
We have an amazing comment. It's actually something that for even the viewers that they should know. So a lot of people have this misconception that because you're in an airplane, you won't have internet. Now let me ask for those of you at home, where does the internet come from? Where does that signal come from, and how do you get the internet? Hey, Claudio's giving hints. Hey. Why are you giving the answer, my friend?
Oh, I was just dancing the carnival. Sorry.
So, yeah, for those of you at home, the receiver, yes. They don't have the receiver, but I'm saying for general purpose science, where do you guys think that internet connection comes from? Let's see if you guys know. Zero interaction with the viewers. Well, that's just not true. That's just not true. I'm talking to you guys all the time.
Okay, talk to us. Who is asking that?
What's the time left for landing? I would say we're just about halfway, so let's say about another 40 minutes.
Yes. Who is asking?
Somebody named TikTok.
Hey, TikTok, we're not talking to you. We
are
talk
talking
us.
to you. He says, no drinks, probably pull over and let me out now. Unfortunately, not on today's flight.
Not an option.
The cap, especially not for the pilots. They're not allowed to drink
Yes.
unless it's booster water.
Zero alcohol.
You can have sparkling water if you're really fancy.
Yes.
Some Perrier. From satellites. There
So-
we go, guys. Yes, so some people in the chat know. It does indeed come from satellites. So somebody mentioned it earlier on the TikTok chat, is that the plane is technically actually closer to the satellites than if you were sitting at home on the ground. So if the plane had capability to receive that signal with a good receiving capabilities, then the speed should actually be quicker because you're closer to the satellite.
Yep.
Yep.
So our total distance to Montreal is about 194 nautical miles, which is just short of 400 kilometers, right? Now at this point, the pilots will be getting information from the Montreal airport to make sure how the weather is, which runway they have in use. So in that case, we're not simulating any radio communication. Today we just did a little bit to show you a little bit, but at this time we will be checking that already to see if anything changed. From now to the moment that we are coming to the approach, things might change. That's why we look to the weather, and we can have the weather, what's up there and what's coming. Same thing as we watch on TV when you see what's coming to the weather, and they can tell you the next 10 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. They go by that. So same thing for the pilot. Okay. So we're still landing on runway 24 right there.
So let's see. We have a comment in French, which I understand. It says, "Tu es vraiment dans un avion." So I think he's asking, "Are you really in an aircraft?" So we're in a real cockpit of a Boeing 777-200LR, but it is a simulator. What else do we have here? Being a pilot has its ups and downs. So I'm guessing that comment was after I said pilots are not allowed to drink. So yes, being a pilot does have its ups and downs. But it's a very rewarding job and very technical job, and you have to be on top of everything and have to be very safe. And of course, it could get stressful, right? Now we're in a little bit more relaxing part of the flight where we're at cruise, and what we're doing is what pilots say: we stay ahead of the aircraft. So they're planning the approach, they're looking at the waypoints, they're looking at the top of descent, they're monitoring weather, the radio, and going from frequency to frequency. So a lot of people think when you get to cruise, pilots get to relax. Yes, they get to be a little bit less on edge, but you have to monitor the plane consistently. And if it's a really long flight, they have crew that's called relief crew, and you get to switch out and take what they call controlled rests. But if it's only 2 pilots in the cockpit, they can also do a controlled rest as long as the other pilot is fully awake. So for example, if Claudio was the first officer, which in today's case he is, he can ask Pablo and say, "Hey, Pablo, are you good to take care of the aircraft for the next 30 minutes? I'm going to get some shut-eye." So he just closes his eyes and gets a little bit of rest. But he's not completely sleeping, He's still there in the cockpit in case something happens. But for longer transatlantic flights, if the crew is bigger than 2, then they can take shifts and one crew can go in the assigned accommodation. They have a separate crew accommodation where they have a little bed where they can go and rest, and they can swap in and out between the pilots. How much longer is the flight? So the flight is, let's say, about another 30 minutes.
Yes.
Well, that's just not happening. Yes, but it's just not allowed. Not allowed. You'll pretty much lose your...
Yeah. If they don't touch anything for a while,
Can you
the planes ask for pilot response.
Can you eat chocolate and crisps? Yes, you can have snacks in the cockpit, so pilots don't have to starve themselves. So you can ask, if it's a cargo flight, you'll have to go get that yourself. But if you're in an airline and you have some wonderful, helpful flight attendants, you can request them nicely to bring you some snacks or food if it's a long flight.
And of course, you just try to make it sure you don't make a mess here, right?
Yes, you gotta be careful of that because it's your home, it's your second home, so you better keep it clean, right?
So, and of course, you see, as you can see here, I have my water bottle here. Okay, so there's a place for the water or the drink that you have, and as long as no alcohol or even
we get
coffee.
this funny question every week. Somebody asks, "Is the world flat?" For you conspiracists out there, you can believe what you want, but
we're not a believer of that.
But yeah, according to science and
So
what we
turn
see,
this knob once to
the
the
Earth
left.
is not flat.
Okay. Now Gabriel just put this page here, so I can show you. See, to a top of the sand, 42.7 nautical miles, and that you can see we are 33 from the obtuse, and you can see the top of the sand is a little after that. So if we start to get a little zoom in, you see that the distance, you can see better the number. But we can check that 39 nautical miles for top of the sand. We're talking about in another 7 minutes, we're going to be starting on the sand.
We'll say hello to Tenzin from Bhutan. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
What else? We have, gonna ignore that question. That's not appropriate, guys. Make sure you keep your comments appropriate if you can, please. What else do we have here? Why is it bright out? Because we can change the time in the simulator. If we did a night flight and we kept the real time, it wouldn't, you guys wouldn't be able to see as much. It would be dark until we get to the city. So just so you guys can see more, it's better. Hello to Momand in California. Welcome to the stream. Andres, thank you for all those emotes. Appreciate it. Eve asks, can women be pilot? Absolutely. Absolutely, women can be pilots. Anybody can become a pilot as long as you're competent, you have good work ethic, and you do the part and you work hard.
Work and study a lot.
It's a hard job, a lot of studying, but anybody can become a pilot. And it's been actually amazing to see within the last, I would say, 6 years. I see a lot more women in aviation, whether it's pilots in training at flight schools or even a bunch of videos, especially Emirates, Etihad, and a lot of the North American airlines. I see a bunch more, even in UK, just all over the world. Really, I'm seeing a bunch more women in aviation, and it's really amazing to see. So, power to women, and yeah, chase your dreams. If you want to fly, you just got to put in the work hard, and you'll get there. Why is the flight time the same from LA to Boston both ways? Wouldn't one leg be shorter flying against the spin? Yes. So a lot of times, if you go from edge to edge, they'll decide whether to go right or left, and that's basically based off something we call performance data. And what that does is it gives you weather, wind, density of the air, how much fuel you're going to burn, how much weight your aircraft is, and they take into account all of that along with the rotation of the Earth. And a lot of the time when you see a flight path, they're flying directly from what their flight plan is, but it looks rotated because of the rotation of the Earth itself. It looks like it's curved. So it's not that we're flying a curved path; we're flying straight, but it's actually looking curved because of the spin, the rotation of the Earth. So they take into all those factors into account, and that's how they decide whether to go, I guess, left or right from coast to coast. Hello from Kazakhstan. Hello, guys.
Hey,
We-
Kazakhstan, right
We
on.
have hello from Afghanistan as well. Hello
Okay.
to Mira Judin. Hello from Bolivia.
Hello, buenas noches. Turn left here once. We just zooming in.
We have Donald saying hello from Nova Scotia. We actually just flew over Nova Scotia.
Hey, we just passed you by, guy.
Tenzin says thank you to the pilots. I'm doing good. Welcome, Tenzin. Thank you for being in the stream.
Thank you. Thank you.
DC on YouTube asks, what type of landing are you guys performing? It'll be a manual landing, but we're following a approach into Montreal. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the autopilot to capture the localizer, and then usually we let the students land the plane manually. So when they're comfortable and whenever Claudio gives the cue, they'll disengage the autopilot and they'll perform the landing for the experience.
No pressure on you, Pablo.
We have Joshua Sinkambe on YouTube asking, how do you know the right flaps to be on? So that is dependent again on weight and speed, and the plane will actually give you an indicator on the speed tape of when you are cleared to go in steps of the flaps. So the flaps in this plane go from 1, 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, and as you reduce your speed, the plane will tell you at what point on the speed tape you can go to the next
I
set of
just
flaps.
correct the heading, just in case. Now, if you guys watch us when we're landing, I'm going to be showing with my Mickey Mouse pointer where we look to the flaps position and what it's telling us, okay?
So we have Niagara Silvername saying, come to Toronto. We're actually located right beside the airport, Pearson Airport, in Mississauga, Ontario. You guys can check out our website, UFLYSimulator.ca or .com, and you can give us a call or you can book online if you want to come.
Turn left once.
Taylor's asking, how do I get over my fear of turbulence? We actually have a fear of flight program here that goes a little bit over that. But to give you a short summary, the aircrafts go through extensive testing and quality assurance and make sure that they can take the load and the stress of weather and all other factors. And the plane is built to be flexible, especially the wings and a lot of the new composite material that they're using to build planes. They're meant to take all of that brute force. And they go through a lot of scenarios when they're testing the plane that's, even further than what you would ever expect in real life. So they're really stress tested. So I would say, you might feel a little bit like, for example, if you're driving up and down a hill in a car, sometimes you may get butterflies. That's the only kind of sensation you would really feel, or a little bit of jerking when you go through heavy turbulence. But a lot of the time, the pilot will give you a heads up and tell you that, hey, put your seatbelt on.
See that? Look at that. You passed. We're going to start to descend.
There it is.
There you go.
So yeah, I would say it's all a mental,
We're
really
starting
a
to
mental
descend,
thing. So
and you
try.
can see that we have the speed at 8.4. We open up a window for the max and the minimum. It's gonna hold, and we are now descending to 15,500. Once I go right here and zoom out, and you're gonna do the same, zoom out here. To the right.
The River Anglin says
One more
pilots
time.
are the ultimate masters of blocking intrusive thoughts. That is very true. You have to be very disciplined as a pilot.
Look at that. See that green banana line? That's exactly where we're gonna be at 15,500.
So Claudio,
And that's
somebody's
exactly where we have to be.
somebody's asking you if you have a trading card. You know what those are? Trading cards?
Yeah, from the company?
Yes.
No, I don't have it.
We don't have cards, but we have stickers and we have merchandise,
Yep.
but we don't have trading cards, unfortunately. That's actually a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna note that down. Thank you for the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, baseball, hockey, basketball.
Yeah.
A lot of trading companies have, for example, airlines have trading cards now too. So if you're if you have a lot of air miles or for a certain airline, they give you a special card. Any openings for Monday Family Day? I think we are closed on Family Day, right, Claudio?
Well, we can open.
And I mean, yeah, if we have a lot of interest
Yeah.
of people coming in, then we may
Give
we
us
may
a
open.
call.
Give us a call and put in the request.
416-777-2261.
And if you guys notice the three numbers in the middle, 777, because that's what we're flying.
Yeah.
416-777-2261, guys.
And you know what 2261 means?
What's that, Claudio?
Can 1. CAN1.
Can 1. Canada 1.
Yep, you got it. I tried all the numbers when I wanted to choose a number. That was the only one
Where-
available.
Where are we going from Abu? We're going to Montreal. We took off from Halifax. Princess Peace says much love. Much love, Princess Peace. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Okay, descent.
Take it to a Ukraine. Actually,
We're gonna
Pablo
put a
is from
seatbelt
Ukraine.
signs on. Actually, we're gonna put off a little bit,
Chime it, you mean. Chime
Yeah.
your seatbelt sign.
and we're gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, this is your co-pilot speaking. Please go to the washroom right away.
So Pablo, you
Um,
said you're from Ukraine, right? Yeah. So somebody was asking in the chat. So yeah, Pablo's from Ukraine. Yeah, I don't think we've ever flown to Ukraine in the simulator. We'll definitely we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we haven't. I have flown with clients
So
here.
today we just did Moscow. Now a lot of people are gonna say, "Why are you saying Moscow?" It's a lot. Some people say Moscow. Some people say Moscow. I think it depends. I think it really depends.
It's actually Moscow.
What? Moscow, ba?
Yeah, that's how they say it.
From where? In Brazil?
From Russia.
From Russia? They
Yeah,
say
that's
Moscow, ba?
Moscow.
Really?
Yep.
I've never heard that. Any viewers that know that, or anyone that's Russian in the chat that can confirm or deny that fact?
So, Captain, looking back here to the legs, right now we are flying to Gorex, which is 41 nautical miles. Okay, after that, we're going to continue a descent all the way to 10,000 or below. And then at Lona, which is right over there, we're going to be at 3,000, which we're probably going to be intercepting the ILS on runway 24, right? Now, after Lona, we're going to Volax at 1,500 feet. Then runway 24, this all been programmed already. They haven't changed it yet. Then we at Montreal. Now, in case of misapproach, something happens that we cannot land, we call the misapproach or go around. We're going to fly straight to YUL, Yankee Uniform Lima, which is just over the airport. And we're going to keep at 3,000 and we're going to hold it there on our holding path until the tower gives us a new vectors for us to go and try to land. That's part of the briefing for the landing. Okay, so once we have the outer approach engaged, the glide slope, I'll put this back to 3,000. Okay, so recalls, we don't have any recalls right now. We are good. Arrival briefing we just completed. We have the minimums to be set. Minimums are going to be at 400, and you're going to put your at 400 as well. Turn right radio 400.
Hey Aiden, welcome to the stream. We have a good question from Banana Bell. She asks, Which calculations do pilots perform while the plane is on autopilot? Quite a few. Like I said, you've got to stay in front of the aircraft. So you're monitoring the frequencies, you're checking performance. So a big thing is checking off fuel as you pass through waypoints, checking in with the air traffic controllers, seeing how much fuel you're burning, making sure you're maintaining, for example, pressure when you get below 18,000, which is when you're below standard pressure limits. What else?
The
You're
pilot,
maintaining the vertical and lateral navigation, of course, longitude LNAV and VNAV. And
yeah,
yes, you report at certain waypoints. You're monitoring the engines. You're calculating the performance. For example, what fuel you're going to land with when you land at the airport, what weight you're going to be because you burned that fuel. Yeah, so usually in an airline, you have something called an electronic flight bag, which does performance calculations where you input the numbers and it gives you an output. And the plane itself in the CDU/FMC will also have some calculations that it will do for you based off the data that you give, the data that you input. But of course, you want to double check and make sure that the two are matching. So a big one, for example, is you have something called your takeoff weight and you have your landing weight. And that's important because based off wind, weight, and the airport that you're at, that you're going to. For example, we're going to Montreal. Let's say that the runway is
right there.
let's say that the runway is 8,000 feet long. Okay. Now, if it's that long, you need to know that you are not too heavy or not too light. Obviously, if you're too light, it's not too much of a problem. But if you're too heavy, you may go past the bounds of the runway. So when you're landing, you want to have an estimated landing weight, and based off that, you'll have a performance calculation of where at the runway you're going to stop the plane. Another thing that's included in that is the auto brake setting. So depending on auto brake 1, 2, 3, and max, the plane is going to have a braking system that's either going to brake harder or less. And that's going to tell you, again, it's going to estimate where you're going to actually end up on the runway when you decelerate. And that's very important because the runway lengths change as you go from airport to airport. The visuals may change, a whole bunch of things. So you got to calculate the approach. You got to make sure you're pre-planning your flights, looking at maintaining VNAV, LNAV, checking in with ATC, checking how much fuel you're burning, and keeping good track of that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Now, Gabriel, do you want to share your iPad screen to show the charts for the approach? You can show the map, our viewers, and also to show the runway and then the tarmac.
Yeah, so what runway are we planning to land on?
24 right.
24 right. So let's go over to, let's go here, and we're going to go to approach.
So he's going to
And
show to the viewers the map.
Let's go to 24
on
right.
the-
So that's the ILS there. So if I go over here and we go to our iPad cam,
Next time
once
we're
again,
gonna
for
have
people
an
on
iPad here,
TikTok,
we can do the same.
if you guys want to see what we're talking about here, go ahead and go over to our YouTube or our Twitch, which is UFLY Simulator. So this is the ILS chart. It's pretty much a straight in approach because we're flying in from the east side, and you can see that the interception point starts towards Lana, and we have Omeki and then Volax, and each of those has an altitude restriction as well as a glide
Now
path.
just getting to 18,000.
So at Lana, we have to be
So
at
we're gonna
3,000
go
feet,
back to standard, which
and
is
heading is
barometer,
237.
and you see that will be coming to a orange color.
Now, our decision altitude for today, and this is going to be good for Claudio and Pablo to put in now as well, it's going to be at 306. So that is what we're going to be flying because we're flying in the ILS DME. So our minimums will be 306. So go ahead and set that radio minimum on your side as well, Pablo and Claudio. 306.
Okay, 306.
So let's say you're going to go up. So 310. 310 or 320, I believe, is the stuff.
Yeah, 310.
310.
Okay.
So that's the approach plate there, guys. Let's look at something else. We'll go over here and let's go back to charts. Another one we can look at is the star. So I think, what are we taking in? Are we taking in the HAB 7 or was it the Alouette 4? So let me look at the sim brief here. Ombre 2. There it is. Ombre 2. So let's hide this
So
here.
the next altitude is 14,000.
So you can see here we have oddballs,
100.
which we passed already. What waypoint are we at now, Claudio?
No, we are just passing Gorux.
Gorux.
With just about 1.9 nautical miles away from it.
There it is. So we're going towards Gorux now, and we're going to be going to Umbra on track 276,
See, you can go
and then
here
we'll
as
be
well
at
to the left.
Akopo.
See, that's what we're looking at, okay? And that information here is what we're seeing here. Now we're descending to 14,000. What is the next
Good
altitude
morning,
for us to be is 10,000 or below, okay? So we select 10,000.
Good morning to Tata on TikTok. Appreciate it.
Hey, good morning, good
Why
morning.
hasn't anyone touched the steering wheel? So funny thing, A-Star. It's actually not called a steering wheel. It's called a yoke.
Yo,
And in Airbus, it's called, instead of the yoke, it's a joystick. So,
Yeah, that's
or
nice.
actually they call it a control stick. But in our case, it's a yoke. It's not a steering wheel. It behaves a little bit differently than a car. But the reason they haven't touched it yet is because they're still flying autopilot until they get
Autopilot's
to a certain point, which
and autopilot.
Pablo will take over the aircraft.
All right, so we gave enough time for the passengers to go to the washroom. So I'll go here into the intercom. Dear passengers flying with us, we hope you guys are enjoying your flight. Now I'm gonna put back the seatbelt signs on. So anybody who had a chance to go to the washroom, amen to that. Anybody who didn't, we gotta hold on. Okay. We'll talk to you soon. We'll be in Montreal, shortly landing. Thank you very much for flying with us. Pleasure, Pablo from Youth Taking Flight. Thank you, Michelle, for coming here. Michelle's in the back seat. She's actually in the jump seat, right there. And thank you for coming, okay? Now make sure you turn the intercom off, okay? There's a funny jokes about those things as
So
well.
good morning,
probably heard.
10:44 in Philippines. Good morning to the Philippines, guys.
Oh, right on.
When do you see the weight capacity for luggage? So we actually have a load master that will give us a load sheet after all the cargo is loaded. What else do we have here? If there's an emergency, for example, if you have an emergency as soon as you take off, you're very heavy. So what you need to do is you need to go to a approved zone where dumping is
1.5,
allowed, and
we're
then you dump
just
the
about
fuel
where we're supposed
before you
to
can land.
be.
Because if you're too heavy, you can't land.
Okay. Now see how the window open it? That's because we're approaching 10,000. Now the plane is gonna go up a little bit just so as to slow down because the maximum speed above 10,000 feet, below 10,000 feet is 250 knots. See, it's already put a little below. Now see, we are still at 11,000 feet, 1,000 to go. Look at that. Now the
Evan
computer
says
or the plane.
hello to you, Claudio.
Hello, hello.
Evan, he says hello, Captain Claudio.
Heaven, how are you? Heaven, how are you? So now, see, it's slowing it down. We're almost there. Look at how the computer programs everything. 700 feet to go, and we are about 250, right on the mark. Okay, unless tell otherwise by the ATC, maximum speed below 10,000 feet, 250 knots. See, right there, perfect.
What's the time in Zulu right now on the clock?
244.
2:44. So let's say about another 15, 20 minutes here, guys. So we're gonna be landing
Yeah.
around 0300 Zulu.
My present rate, okay, yes, I think that I am about 97 kilos. Okay? Of
What,
course, I cannot resist.
Joshua says, "What does it take to be a captain? It is a long road, my friend." But
Long road, long road.
if you're asking for the flight to the path to becoming a pilot, you'll start with a recreational license or a sport license. You'll get your private pilot license, which is a PPL. Then you'll do your instrument and multi-engine ratings, and that will get you towards your CPL. And once you finish your CPL,
How's the
then
approach
you get a
that
couple
we
of
have?
hours and you can apply to the airline. When you get into
Okay.
an airline, you start as a first officer, and once you rack up as many hours as you can as a first officer and get the experience, you then do the training to become a captain and
That's
go on to the
nav
left seat.
navigation, in case we need it. Okay, it's all there.
Lee Pilot says, "Hello guys, I'm an aspiring pilot
Hello,
from
guys.
Gambia. Keep it pushing, Lee. Chase your dreams."
My growth rate right now, I don't know. We are just
We have Jesus Christ in the chat today. Welcome, Jesus
Really?
Christ.
okay. Top left, gross weight is 195. 10,000. Now, what's the next waypoint?
So that's 195
Altitude?
tons. So I
3,000.
think the max for this plane is are close to 400,000, which is 400 tons.
Yes.
Which is 223 tons.
Yeah. Good. So now this is what we're going to be doing now. We're going to set a VREF speed. So click initial reference button. Okay, initial reference button. We're going to be using flaps 30. So click on flaps 30 right there. And
Jamie
we're going to be
asks, where
pressing
are we?
over there.
We are currently flying into Montreal, Canada, guys.
All right, right there. So we're going to start our descent. I'm going to intervene here. Perfect. We're now descending to 3,000 feet.
Evan says, hey guys, hope you're doing well. I'm trying to complete my 40 hours in ground school for the PPL and instrument rating. Any
We're gonna
recommendations for schools?
Open the window.
We do
click it over there.
indeed have recommendations for
Slow down
schools.
to
So,
200.
we're in partnership with Canadian Flight Trainers, and they actually have an online ground school, as well as their full PPL and CPL. So if you're interested in
We're
going
using
to
the brake.
a school,
brake.
check out Canadian Flight Trainers. They have an online ground school as well as the rest of their pilot program. Another one that I can recommend is Spectrum Airways, which is in Burlington.
We are
and then
7
near us,
8
we also have Brampton Flying Club.
plus
So
4.
any of those.
Okay. So 14, 18. We are just 18 nautical miles away from the runway. So that's why we're slowing down. Now, who was asking? You see the up in green here? We are now going below that. I have the brakes because we're going too fast. And that's Montreal right there. So I'm going to get flaps 1. Now, you see the number 1 in green? You can set the speed right there to the number 1 in green. See it? So the number 1 in green is right inside the box. And that's a flap. So now if you go any lower than the speed we have, which is 195, we got to keep adding flaps all the way to flaps 30.
No problem, Evan. Hopefully you complete your flight training and wish you the best.
Montreal, and that's the
Um,
airport.
Let's see. How do you know when to start the descent? It's all pre-programmed in our flight plan, so we know exactly at what point we need to start our descent to maintain the altitude restrictions. It's something that we
Okay.
have called a top of descent. What happens if you know you'll overshoot the runway? We go around. So we go around and we make the
Yes.
approach again. Safety is the number 1 priority. All the buttons have a purpose and no
We're going to
decoration.
set speed,
Yes.
set flaps 5, and you're going to set the speed. Speed set. We're right inside the box.
No
to the left.
problem, Lee. Hope your flight training goes well as well. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop answering comments here because we're getting in a critical point here, and I'll see if I can squeeze in some more after they land. So enjoy the approach, guys, and I'll catch you guys when they're on the ground.
Perfect. So we're going to continue the stand. Now, our next waypoint, you're going to be at 1500, so click our approach. Right here. APP. Now, you see the localizer and the glide slope. So those are the 2 signals that the beacon from the runway is sending us a message. Okay, both diamonds must be in the center line. So we're going to slow down more, flaps 20 and flaps 20 set speed. Speed set. Go for it. And at this point, you're going to request landing gear down.
Toronto pilot says Claudio is the best pilot ever.
Landing gear down. Thank you. Gear down. Auto brakes on 3. Speed brake up. Look at the I forgot the name now, which was the Olympic Stadium, 1976. It's one of the Montreal landmarks. All right, our final speed, Captain, is 133 plus 5. And 133 plus 5.
125.
There you go, set the speed. 133 plus 5. Plus 5. 138. Landing lights on, 1, 2, 3. Runway lights on. 1, 2. Imaginary lights on. No more. That's it, Captain. Let's go for the landing checklist. Lights on. Gear down in green. Flaps 30 in green. Auto brake zone 3. Cabin ready. Speed brake armed. Landing checklist is complete. We have the minimum at 310. Plane is stable. Continue. Now here's your chance, Captain, to take control anytime you want. Now in case of misapproach, you see the blue dotted line? That's where we go. And we talked about this already. We should be going to 3,000 feet. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the heading knob for that direction. And we're gonna keep at 3,000. Anytime you wanted to disconnect the autopilot, by all means. That's your runway right there. Okay, you're now following your flight director again. So to disconnect the autopilot, left thumb to the side stick, to the side button, press once. Autopilot disconnect, press it again to confirm. And what should you tell me? I have control. You got it. You have control, Captain. Not too much.
At this time, we ask that you store any electronic devices.
Landing checklist is complete.
At the gate. As use of
That's your
such
runway.
devices could interfere with
Ryan, did
electronic
we
aircraft
download the new Montreal as well?
In final preparation
Yeah, it's
for
just
landing,
flight tempo.
please ensure your seat belts are securely
Yep.
fastened, your seat
So
belts
let's
are
see
in
how it
the
looks.
position, and your tray tables are stowed. Any hand luggage should
You
be
did,
removed.
Oh, no,
did good.
Montreal is not done. We did, yeah, we did Halifax and Ottawa. We didn't do
One
Montreal.
last time to complete
Okay.
their
But it's still gonna look
damage
good.
check and to collect any remaining cuts of block.
Don't turn too much, Captain. Just take your sweet time.
Just remember that it's a heavy plane, so it takes time to react.
Yeah.
So the more you turn, the more counter turn you have to give.
Pull
So
back
you
a little
want to
bit.
keep it as stable as possible. Not as agile as a fighter jet. Yes, guys, this is in Canada. We're landing in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Montreal. 1,000 feet, stable, continue.
Yes, guys, I'll shout you out once we're on the ground.
Hold on a second. Keep waiting.
They're on final approach, so we gotta let Pablo focus in here.
Right there, okay? There you go. You're doing good. Pull back just a little. And to the right, hold steady. Let the plane go. And straighten again. Wait. Nose down again. See, one at a time. Now turn left a little. Hold. Down again. And straight. Steady. Perfect. See? Down again. There you go. That's the highway, it's empty.
So there's the minimums call coming up.
Now the minimums are coming. Runway inside, plane is stable, continue. Say continue.
Continue.
You got it. That's protocol, okay? Perfect. Go back just slightly. 900 feet per minute. Perfect. Go back just a little bit more. Nice. The throttle disconnected into idle. Let us seat. Nice and easy. Good. Put your hand over here. Nice and easy. Pull up the reverse thrust. Pull up and hold. Perfect. Controls are back in your feet. I want you to use a little bit your right foot. Not too much. Let's go back to the center line. Excellent. And good. Left foot a little. Now hold in here. Hold it nice and easy. Hold it. Down and click. You got it. Now we landed.
Very
Good
good.
job, my captain. Very good job. So
Amazing.
let's clear the runway. Left hand on the tiller. That's the terminal right there. So we're going to clear on the left. At this time, it'll be Toronto. I'm Toronto.
No, it's gonna
Mon-
be. They're usually gonna take you towards ground.
Yes.
But the next one is gonna be UFLY 003. You can vacate runway on your left on Bravo 2, and take Bravo, then Echo into the apron.
Okay, Bravo 2, Bravo, and Echo 2, UFLY 003, heavy.
Perfect. DFW plane spotters. Hope everyone has having a great time. Beautiful landing with the
there.
777. Little off center line, but nice landing. There you go, Pablo. Very good landing. Thank you, DFW Plane Spotters, for joining the stream. Course 1, thank you for the clapping and the thumbs up on Twitch there as well. Appreciate it, guys. Evan
You
says,
did
good
very
job
good.
on the landing. I can't wait to be in that seat as well. Come by, Evan, anytime.
Right here. Wait. Now turn left a little bit. That's perfect right there. That's going to take, they gave us a really nice one. It's going to take us all the way to the terminal. Okay, so once we clear the runway, we're going to turn the strobe lights off. Strobe lights off. Tax lights on. Runway lights off. And keep being the center.
Is this called taxiing? Yes, we're currently taxiing to the gate to do
Runway
the
lights
shutdown
on.
procedures.
Off. Pull back. Landing lights off. 1, 2, 3. One at a time. There you go. Now, flaps up. Auto brakes off position. Spoilers are down. Turn the APU. And after landing checklist is complete, my captain.
See, Sarah says the instructor and the team are wonderful, learning from the best, experience and intuition. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Dada, God bless you as well. John Chelsea, love from the UK. Love to the UK from Canada. Nana says good job. Charlotte says great job. Lee says good job. Don says good job. Thank you guys so
We
much.
stop it here. See it? There's a runway to cross.
Approaching
That's the stopping
1,
point.
0.
Okay. At this time, we will ask permission to cross the runway. And we wait for them to give us clearance to cross the runway.
UFLY 003, you're cleared to cross runway and taxi via your discretion at the apron ahead on your left.
Crossing the runway, 28. Cross the runway to your discretion to the tarmac. Strobe lights on. UFLY 003 heavy. Okay. Power again. Taxi lights off for a little bit. Left hand on the tiller. Let it go the brakes. But once we go, clear on the right.
Turn left.
You got it. Follow the yellow line.
DFW Plane Spotters, we're in Mississauga, Ontario. So you can visit our website, uflysimulator.ca or .com. And our phone number is 416-777-2261. You guys can...
Canada 1. Can 1.
Yeah.
Once we clear the runway, we turn the strobe lights off again. Now we're going to go straight. And our gate is right there.
Janiela from Philippines says, nice flight. Thank you. Appreciate it. Much love from Canada to the Philippines.
That's very good. You go straight here. Turn right a little. Perfect. You're going to overshoot a little bit. Perfect. Excellent. Now have your feet on the pedals. Not yet. Keep going left a little. Left a little and straight. Excellent. Very good. Now tip your toes all the way. Let it go the brakes in your feet. Let it go. Set your parking brake, my captain. Parking brake is set. Now we do have the APU running. That means we can shut down the engines and start with the left engine. Lift, flick it down. Lift and flick it down. Good. Engine shut down.
TCAS test.
TCAS test is also off. We don't need that no more. Now we're going to come here to the fuel pumps and we're going to turn off the left tank. 1, 2. Right tank, 1, 2. We already turned off the center tank because we had only a little. Anti-ice, off, off, off. Okay, we're going to turn the wing, the logo, and the beacon. Leave the navigation lights on for now. And poor passenger, seatbelt signs off. Perfect. Hydraulic pumps. You're going to start with the C1, C2 valves. Off, off. Then you go with the right electric off, right engine off. Left electric off, left engine off. Okay? Good for now. Now we go back here. We can open the door behind us. Unlock. Go for it. Then we contact the ground, which the guys are going to be underneath us. Already putting the sharks, holding the tires. They'll be talking to us, say the plane is secure. Release the parking brake. So you release the parking brake. And flight attendants would be open the doors. And we just have to finalize our reports. And off we go.
All right, guys.
Captain, pleasure flying with you.
All right, let's
Very good.
let's
Very
do some.
good.
We'll do some quick comments here before we end the stream. DFW says I'm in Texas, but maybe we'll go there sometime. Come by anytime, guys. We'd love to have you guys come in and have an experience with us. Same to you from same to Evan as well. So appreciate you guys coming into the stream on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Let's see. We have some comments on TikTok here that I missed. Wish I was in an airplane. I miss Montreal. Take a flight. Take a flight. We have love from Nepal. Love to Nepal from Canada. We have hi from Malaysia. Hello to Malaysia. Is this the Boeing 737? No, this is the 777-200LR. What else do we have? Love from Jamaica. Love to Jamaica from Canada. And I think that's about it. So everyone's saying good job. Good job to you, Pablo. You did it really amazing today. And appreciate you guys. So thank you to Youth Taking Flight. You can check them out on YTF Programs on Instagram or their website, youthtakingflight.com. And once again, guys, our UFLY Simulator, where this is happening, is in Mississauga, Ontario. Our website is uflysimulator.ca or .com. And our phone number is 416-777-2261. Thank you guys for flying with us today. Hopefully you enjoyed the flight from Halifax to Montreal. And we'll catch you guys hopefully on next Friday, and maybe if we have time before then. We're going to be doing live ATC very soon, and we're going to be increasing the frequency of our streams. So thank you to Pablo, Michelle, Gabriel, and Claudio. And this is Ryan, and we're going to be signing off here on all the streams.
See
Take
that?
care, guys.
Hold on a second. That
Oh.
guy is asking the girl out. Look at that. Right. Michelle, thank you very much for coming. Pablo, thank you. Youth Taking Flight. Guys, thank you. Guys from
Delta 2148 is going to maintain 3,000.
3,000 Delta 2148.
Are you fly 227 ready for pushback?
Flight 227 Boston departure, squawk normal. Delta 2148, turn right heading 310.
310 on the heading, Delta 2148.
Delta 1049, British speed of 190.
Delta
190,
28.
yeah, 1049.
Two.
Waiting to see.
Boston departure FedEx 1981 with Foxtrot ready taxi.
Our squawk should be
FedEx 1981, heavy runway diner, taxi via Kilo Mike, cross runway 4 left.
Kilo Mike, cross 4 left at Kilo for FedEx 1981, thanks.
Delta 2148, continue right heading 010, join the runway 4 right, localizer.
010 to join localizer, Delta 2148.
You fly 227, push on to Alpha, approve, verify information, Foxtrot.
Have information Foxtrot and clear for push on Alpha. You fly 227. Okay, where you fly 227.
Okay.
You fly 227 information Foxtrot now.
Boeing 10 Heavy, wind 04016, runway 4 right, clear to land.
Clear land 4 right, Boeing 10 Heavy.
This
Claudio.
one, 90 degrees
Claudio.
Yes.
minus.
See the yellow paper in the front?
Uh-huh.
Change
I
that
know.
number if you want.
Yep.
This one is going to
Makes it
be...
easier for you.
How many did we go? 60 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's do 60 minus 90. Everything else, have you done it?
Delta 1049, maintain
Yes.
170
You
knots.
can call for push.
Boston approach,
Here.
this is American 155 Heavy. Descending via the J-Plan to arrival, passing flight level 200.
American 155 Heavy,
requesting
Boston
pushback,
approach, Fox
please.
is current altimeter 300 tree, expect the ILS runway 4 right. FedEx 1981 Heavy, runway diner, line up and wait, traffic will land the crossing runway.
All right, line up and wait, runway 9 FedEx 1981.
And you start up. Thank you. Let's start left engine, please.
Left engine start.
We'll wait
I
for
knew it was
the
you, Mike.
oil pressure to rise to 8. And fuel flow valve switch is on.
Check.
1981, wind 04016, runway diner, clear for
Okay,
takeoff.
fuel flow is on.
Runway 9 clear for takeoff, FedEx 1981, thanks.
I can break
Delta
set.
1049, wind 04016, runway 4 right, clear to land.
4 right, clear to land, Delta 2148.
Ta-ta. Ta-ta.
Yeah, 1049,
Okay,
runway
engine
4 right,
1
clear to
is
land.
stable.
Let's
Full
start
clear to land,
right
9,
engine,
10, 4 now.
please.
Right engine
Break out
start
to the
position.
643, turn right, heading 310.
Right 310, brickyard 5643.
Delta
Okay.
2148, maintain
Oil
170
pressure
knots
is
until
to
mil.
3.
170 knots to melt, Delta 2148.
This is to 8.
fuel flow valve switch on.
Check.
Wait 10 seconds, and fuel flow valve should be on.
Boeing 10 Heavy taxi, Romeo November, cross runway 4 left.
Cross 4 left, Boeing
Right
10.
engine